¿Qué carajo?
What the hell?
Y un globo no
And a
es.
balloon is not that.
Eso se ve como
It looks like something strange, I mean.
algo extraño. O sea, no es súper rápido.
It's not super fast.
Una pelota no es.
A ball is not even a balloon. It is not a balloon. That's another thing.
Eso es otra cosa.
We are getting closer. Look how it lights up in various colors. That's like metallic, right? The Buga Sphere was filmed by two independent sources in Buga, Colombia, hence the name Buga Sphere. Another video was recorded by a man in the same place, and the images were so surprising, especially when we see what happens towards the end of this video. The sphere seems to hover over the city of Buga, in Colombia. This person, we would later learn, was in the mountains, searching for treasure with electromagnetic equipment, and then the question arose whether that was why this sphere had come so close. But no one expected what happened at the end of the video. And then, the unexpected happened. The sphere descends, it does not fall, and then the witness approaches the place. He approaches the sphere to do something that no one expected. He grabbed this sphere with his bare hands with the risks that this entailed. This carefully. This has never happened before. Careful.
Esto nunca había sucedido antes.
It weighs a lot. It weighs about 2 kilos.
There have been spheres found before, and in the United States, special forces thugs go in and get them, and people have been killed possessing them. Very smart that you keep it safe and that you also disclose it. It's transparent. Everything goes out.
With clear chain of custody, it is now in the hands of Jaime Maussan, a famed Mexican unidentified aerial phenomenon researcher with decades of work in the subject. Jaime Maussan immediately disclosed and is leading the independent scientific research of the Buga Sphere. Unidentified aerial phenomenon materials are in civilian scientific hands for the first time in history. The anthropologist Agnesa Sartori has decoded the message written on the Buga Sphere, which is written in Proto Sanskrit, the ancestor of the language in the Indus Valley civilization that created works like the Mahabharata and is considered the language of the gods in Hindu tradition. This is what she describes.
Nos están diciendo,
they are telling us, we gave you life, creation, universal harmony, everything that the sun, the moon, the stars, the cosmos, and the primary vibration means, and you have the possibility to destroy it or to save it. For me, perhaps my interpretation, it could be the fundamental message on the sphere.
I am very excited, I am very proud to come to this point in my career where finally I can exhibit an anomalous object in my own perspective is a non-human device. We still have to do more analysis on it. We still have to prove it. Nevertheless, what we have found thus far suggests to me the possibility that it's a non-human device. And if we can prove this scientifically, we've taken a larger step for the acceptance that we are not alone in this universe, that we are being visited. I gave the sphere to Jaime Maussan for further study. Thank you, Mr. Maussan. Thank you. I got my own mic. Thank you. Thank you, David. What he didn't mention is that we have a commitment to keep this investigation open. And let's now look at the third video. Yes, there are 3 videos, which is one of the more important ones of the 3. And I'm going to explain to you why. This was filmed by a different person who wants to remain anonymous. Not anymore. His name is William Antonio Zúñiga. This video was filmed on June 7th over the township of Yumbo in the Caucasus Valley in Colombia. This sphere, as we can see, presents the same type of physical traits. It's identical to the Buga Sphere. It's got the same equator, and you can also see patterns on the top part. There's no doubt about that. So what I'm asking myself is, maybe they're there to show us this evidence. That's just a hypothesis. It's hypothetical. As you can see, we were able to see the equator of the sphere, the black dots that encircle the sphere. There they are. It's the same sphere. Well, the same exact design. So they're similar spheres than the one we have in our possession. It probably has the ability to levitate as well. Do we have the comparison, please? Do we have the comparison of both videos, please? Go ahead. As you can see, and it's rotating, as you can notice. This is the Buga Sphere on the right, and you have the Yumbo Sphere on the left. So it's an unprecedented evidence. We have 2 different spheres with the same traits, and they both rotate. This polymer is protected. It's coated with an unknown material which we have not identified. Thank you, David. And finally, that would be the fiber optics, right? Yes, that's correct. It was the test done on the fiber optics that led us to these results, which are important. And thanks to that, we were able to make the next step and detect the fiber optics. Thank you very much. I would like to share with you the following thoughts. It's my full responsibility. It's my own theory. And I've been trying to stick by scientific facts of how this sphere operates. And when I witnessed the videos, the first question I asked myself was, where's the energy source so that it levitates? Where is that energy source? Engineer Avila didn't detect any batteries. We only saw a nucleus with 3 different densities, which I would like to share with you. Go ahead. Can we see the image on screen? This nucleus that was observed, as Engineer Avila said, we can observe that there are 3 different densities that are involved. Let's let the video run a bit, and we'll have the image on screen any moment. This is the nucleus, and it's real. This is an image that was made of the sphere, that was made at the university. It's a tomography. As you can see, there are certain holes right here that are located at the equator, which is right here, right through the center. We got the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. When I saw this, I asked myself, once again, where's the energy source for it to levitate? Reason for which I started investigating how satellites have a cable and they can be charged through the cable. But I was reminded of Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla experimented with his famous tower, the Wonder Clear. Let's see what he did. As you can tell, this Tesla tower, if you see it vertically, you can see that there's a tube that goes down the center, which is an electrical conductor. It goes underground, and we have certain pallets that are being generated with the current. It generates an electric current, and it's distributed up top. And when the plates move, it generates the necessary charge. Let's move forward. So then I asked myself the following. What if we grabbed the Tesla tower and we inserted it into the sphere? And since there's no river to generate those electrical charges, according to science, is only through friction. You should rub those materials together to create friction. And then I thought of this. Next image. When I generate electrical charge, we would have a field. But let's stop for a moment. Let's go back to the previous image, please. These charges are going to be distributed throughout the sphere. But there's something that is very important. There's a physical property within physics that tells you that the addition of magnetic fields that you can add to a sphere, they will counter-rest each other. That's the Gauss law. The electrical field is equal to 0. But what if we make it rotate so there's friction at the center? So when we start to make the sphere rotate, we start generating different fields. Let's stop the video right there. So then I thought, if I generate what Tesla did back in the day, generate static electricity up top, would it help? Would it give me more answers? It was in 1832 that Charles Darwin, he discovered spiders on his ship, on his boat. He thought that the spiders were being transported by the wind currents, but it was opposite from what Tesla knew. What really happened with those spiders going on to Darwin's ship is the following. You see how the spiders shoot up in the air. The spider fixes itself onto the trunk, which has negative charges. And then the static makes the spider rise, because there's a difference in potential. And that's why the spiders levitate as such, and they can travel for thousands of kilometers. And the only way of having them stop is by cutting their spider webs all together. But they're using the spider web as a rail and static as a fuel. which is different from other types of technology that do have a direct control on their flight. Next slide, please. Let's look at this principle with an experiment that was done at Mexico's Autonomous University with the bandograph. If you generate a current, it will generate an electric charge which will be eventually discharged at the ground level. But if you warm it up with a flame, you realize that the sphere is generating its own static when you apply heat to it. Next slide, please. Here's the smaller sphere. We're applying heat to it. Let's go back a couple, right there. A little bit forward, please. As you can tell, when you turn on the sphere, you have electrical current, and the static goes all the way up. It could be the spiders as such, or the Google sphere itself. They are being moved due to static. Now the generator is within the sphere, and it's generating the necessary fields. There's a difference in potential with the atmosphere, and they have opposite charges. Next slide. We can do a comparison of a spider flying through the air with the Buga Sphere. Look at how it's behaving. Look how they're levitating in the same fashion. So we suspect that the sphere is levitating thanks to static fields that are reacting with the atmosphere. This is the reason why, if the sphere has to rotate for it to be charged up, if it touches high voltage wires, it's going to be discharged, causing disequilibrium on the inside, and it descends. Next slide. This is a turbine. I'll tell you what we are pretending to do. For a turbine to work properly, we have the Platon cycle in thermodynamics. We're talking about gases. So to achieve this, we have to put air through the turbine. The reactor comes on and the cycle starts. What we want to do, next slide please, is to help the sphere so that as the wind turbine has a starter, we can start it like a spark plug. Next one, please. Well, we got a little time left. Well, tell me, please. Yeah, we got the image of the sphere that's rotating on screen. So we place the sphere in an instrument that will make it rotate at a certain speed, revolutions per minute. If we achieve that speed, we might be able to reactivate it, turn it back on again, and make it levitate once again. But there's 4 obstacles. If we levitate it, if we do it outside and they detect it, it might float away, right? If we do it within closed doors, it's not going to fly away, right? But how do you turn it off? Number 3, thank you. This is the third problem it would present. This is the animation of the device that will make it spin. And we're going to try and prove if this theory is invalid or if it's valid. And we're basing ourselves on physical concepts. And when we start to make it spin and when we create friction on the interior of the sphere, it creates electricity, it creates static, and we assume that it will levitate. When we talk about the chip, it looks like an antenna. we're trying to detect where the resonance comes from. If we manage that, then we're going to understand this perfectly, what its impedance is. And once we know what its impedance is, we'll be able to know what its ROE is. And then if we don't do it, then we're going to remain uncertain. Those are very important aspects. One is to try and make it levitate. What would happen? That would be success altogether. We proved our theory right, and then we have to bring it back down, right? Could they take it away? Yeah, they can take it. We can't control it. We can't stop it. But if it's confined, then we could.
I'm looking forward to seeing further scientific discovery.
Any comment about the Buga Sphere?
It's a remarkable, it's very interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what the studies come.
Thank you very much.
Congressman Eric Burleson giving his impressions.
I'm just going to make a really quick translation, please. Sorry, I'm just going to make a really quick translation to what you said. Como dijo el congresista Eric Burleson,
As Congressman Eric Burleson said, the reason he's here is because this is a worldwide event. It's not only interesting to the U.S. government, he's been blocked by his government to obtain the necessary hearings and the necessary data to open this topic to the world. And now he's anxiously waiting for the results on the Buga Sphere and know how much we can learn from this technology. Thank you, Congressman Eric Burleson, for being here with us today. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Jaime, for having us here. And his work has been seminal for many years. And going to go up.
This is Dr. Stephen Greer.
And I'd just like to recognize the courageous people who picked it up and brought it. Now, there have been spheres found before, and in the United States, special forces thugs go in and get them, and people have been killed possessing them. Very smart that you keep it safe and that you also disclose it. It's transparent. Everything goes out. My assessment of this is pending, but it's certainly real. It's using an energy field and what we probably would say is electrogravitic, which means a type of anti-gravity effect from the electromagnetic forces. And whether it is a purely extraterrestrial origin or a mix of an ancient human extraterrestrial development, there are 4 or 5 possibilities. And this is what we want to look at. If we can get some of the materials and do carbon dating, we can from the polymer, then we will know how old it is. If it predates this kind of manufacture, it'll be extraordinary.
Esto es Interestelar.
This is Interstellar. I am Jaime Maussan. We have decoded the Buga Sphere, an extraordinary message that comes from the past, from 12,560 years ago.
They are telling us, we gave you life, creation, universal harmony, everything that the sun, the moon, the stars, the cosmos, and the primary vibration means, and you have the possibility to destroy it or to save it. For me, perhaps my interpretation, it could be the fundamental message on the sphere. Does 10,535 BCE sound familiar? How about the Younger Dryas, Plato's date for Atlantis, the source of all the supposedly mythological accounts for the flood across the world? The pyramids of Egypt point to that date, but so does Angkor Wat, Göbekli Tepe, Tiahuanaco. If you like these subjects, please like, share, and subscribe. Oh, and for more information about this case, watch the complete international press conference linked in the description of this video.